Hi again, everybody. I'm Ty Linder with this week's edition of the KentStateSports.com Flashback. We begin with men's basketball, which picked up a couple of key road victories last week over Central Michigan and Toledo. The 7-point win in Mount Pleasant gave the Flashes what was a brief 2-game road sweep and allowed the Flashes to restore some of that confidence they'd lost earlier in the season. Then the Flashes came home to face the always tough Western Michigan Broncos. And again, the Broncos gave the Flashes all they could handle here at home. At the end of regulation, we were tied at 64 thanks to a couple of late Randall Holt threes. And in the extra session, the Flashes raced out to an 8-point lead and didn't look back.
Stainbrook down to the baseline. He is blocked. Taken away by Holt, trying to race back down the lane. The scoop is not there. Evans! Oh! Evans grabs it in midair with 2 hands and slams it home.
Took a couple of hustle plays by Michael Perini to get it done, but the Flashes knock off Western Michigan 78-73 to win for the 28th consecutive time against a MAC West opponent. Now armed with a 6-3 mark, the Flashes will look to sweep their MAC West counterparts for the 4th straight year this week when they go to Eastern Michigan on Wednesday night and then return home for an 11 a.m. game against Ball State right at the MAC Center. That game will be on ESPNU. The women's basketball team has entered the toughest part of its MAC schedule and has fallen behind a couple of opponents recently, falling way behind against Ball State and using a lot of energy to close that gap to within 5, but ultimately all of that energy to try to come back to within 5 cost them a chance at a victory. Same thing against reigning WNIT champion Toledo here at the MAC Center on the weekend. Again, the Flashes forced to play catch-up. All of that energy to come back, not able to completely cap the miraculous comeback. So they fall to Ball State and Toledo, and now the Golden Flashes will wrap things up by going to Eastern Michigan on Saturday. That'll be a day game at the Convocation Center. They'll go back into East play by visiting Oxford Wednesday at 7 p.m. The gymnastics team will finally face its natural rival when it travels to Mount Pleasant and Rose Arena on the campus of Central Michigan University. That's this Saturday. The Flashes and Chippewas seemingly locking horns each and every year for the MAC championship. And then it's an event we always look forward to each calendar year, the Flip for the Cure meet. That's coming up on February 19th, a Sunday, as the Flashes and Northern Illinois Huskies will do battle. Wear pink for the Flip for the Cure. Seeking another MAC championship, the Golden Flashes wrestlers sought to sweep a weekend pair against Buffalo and Eastern Michigan, and they did that, knocking off the Buffalo Bulls by a final score of 25-9. The Flashes then came into battle on Sunday, looking for their first outright regular season championship in the conference since 2009, and the chance to do it on Senior Day and at home for the first time since the late 80s. They did exactly that. Led by the 4 seniors, including a pin to start things off by Nick Bedleon at 125, the Flashes roll away from Eastern Michigan 28-10, keeping the Eagles winless against the Flashes since Watergate. The Flashes, celebrating the championship, will try to regroup. They'll face Clarion and travel to the prestigious National Duels, where this year they take place at Rutgers in Piscataway, New Jersey. You know, we can start talking about spring even though we've had a mild winter. It's time to start talking about Flashes golf once again. The women's golf team taking part in the Lady Puerto Rican Classic on February 12th to the 14th. We'll have results of that next week. It was a good weekend for the women's indoor track and field squad, specifically for Kimberly Preston. Preston won the pole vault championship with that jump of better than 13 feet in Pennsylvania. It's also a good individual weekend for Panina Akayo in the triple jump and Giovanni Mosley in the shot put. Up next, the Spire NCAA Invitational. And if you need another reason to think spring, well, how about the Golden Flashes softball team starting its season out in Vegas? Tough field, though, at the UNLV Invitational. That includes Cal State Bakersfield, Minnesota, Oklahoma, and Weber State. That's all this weekend out in Nevada. This has been the KentStateSports.com Flashback. I'm Ty Linder. Go Flashes!